It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm with Simon Buckley. Some of you might remember Simon, the interview I did with him last year. 7th generation, am I right? Family brewers?
Yeah, and the 8th year as well, and they're both vying for the next hot seat in the brewery.
Fantastic. So we'll have a look at around Evan Evans Brewery. Now let's go in.
Follow me. Lagers and
So here's the mash tun.
dark beers in it.
It's heated or not? Like
It's not heated, but what we use is we use hot liquor it's insulated, so we use hot liquor to warm it in the first place.
so typical British solution, yeah.
Well,
Not heated mash tun.
No, because we use very high quality malt, we don't need to go back to reheat it and give it time. We can use a simple infusion mash, which at the end of the day is very good.
Usually in which temperature?
We tend to mash at about 67 degrees.
67.
So we're producing good quality wort.
There is a kettle, copper, yeah.
The word kettle, it's a whirlpool kettle, so we use hot pellets. We use, it's steam heated, so we get a very, very good rolling boil from it. But what's very important is that it produces consistently stable beer by being able to boil it very hard.
And no problem with DMS.
No DMS. And the other good thing about it is that because of the way it's set up, we can late hop in this vessel to produce wonderful aroma, and we do get some superb aroma from some of our beers.
That big vessel is
That's our raw water supply. We need about 5 litres a second when we're brewing flat out. And Welsh Water, who are the local suppliers, can only supply 2 litres a minute. But what we then do is we just hold that as a reservoir. We then carbon filter the water to take out impurities and different minerals. And then we add back the brewing minerals we want in the mash tun.
This is something like hop rocket, yeah?
It is not any old hop rocket. There's only about 4 or 5 of these in the UK. We use this for adding aroma in certain golden beers and the stronger dark beers where we can put some intense hop flavours into them.
Okay. Przejdziemy na butelkowanie i tam spróbujemy. Okay, so let's go for a tasting.
Yeah.
Muszę się rozłączyć na chwilę.
Well, Simon, you finally caught up with me here in our new bottling plant, and I've been sampling some really good bottled beers with Thomas, your friend from Poland. This is probably one of the most modern bottling plants now in South Wales. It's designed to process somewhere in the region of 2,000 to 3,000 bottles an hour of beer, cider and lager. And at the moment, at the height of the summer here in 2018, we're actually bottling in excess of 20,000 to 30,000 litres a week. Which for a business that didn't exist a year ago is some going. As I'm sure you'll be aware, there is at this moment in time a CO2 issue.
Yes.
And we're delighted that we've been able to keep going through the height of the summer, and we've brought lots of new business to Wales from brewers and cider makers from outside the country, outside Wales I should say when I talk about the country. But like everybody, we're getting a little bit close to the bottom of the CO2 tank now, but we hope to have a delivery on Friday which will keep things moving forward. So what makes this bottling plant special? Well, since you were last here, we've added a series of new large bulk conditioning tanks. We're due to very shortly lag everything because the final fit outs happened. So the bulk tanks, the beer comes or cider comes in through a series of heat chillers which takes the product down to 0 degrees. It's then pumped into the tank where it's held for 36 hours, and then Giles will filter all the beers, and as he filters the beers and ciders, they go into these conditioning tanks. They're left there then for about probably somewhere in the region of 12 to 18 hours. So by the time we come to the end of it, 36 hours, 40, nearly probably 40 hours, the beers will be in these tanks. They'll be bright, and most importantly of all is as they are prepared, they're then finally filtered into the small tanks where they are then ready for bottling. And at that stage of the game, in fact I might be able to show you now, let's see whether I can. Now this is cider, this is. So this is one of the ciders that, now you'll notice it's bright, it's been filtered, it's not yet carbonated. So the cider here, have a sniff of that.
Oh wow.
It's made by a Cornish cider maker who we do all his bottling now. It's absolutely super duper brilliantly bright. So at this stage it's flat. The reason it's got a bit of fizz in it is because the tank's had a head of CO2 on it, and that now is sort of interacting with it.
I see.
The next bit is, if you turn around, is it'll go through this cartridge filter, which will take out the remaining bits in it, and then this is the sterile filter, and that will then make sure that the beer or the cider is perfectly sterile. And then in this is probably the most important bit of kit. And there are not many of these in the bottling sector in Wales. This is a Carbatec inline carbonator, and the brand owner will tell us exactly what carbonation they want, and we will then just dial it in.
Oh, right.
The PC will then run it, and the carbonation, that is the carbonation that will go into the finished product. It's designed to put in a consistent, smooth thing. If you carbonate in tank, the problem is you get inconsistent product. This is all about good, consistent product. Then when we're actually bottling, and obviously we're not bottling now because, you know, you're here and you want to be able to hear what we're saying. But for example, this is set up now to run on Hawk cider, and what we have is we have the bottle in feed here. It goes through the 3-part labeler there, then into it has a laser etch where the best before date is laser etched onto it, and then after that it goes through the rinser and then the filler and out at the other end. And then if we come around here, I'll just show you the last bit. And when it comes off the end of the bottling, filler and primer, it's put into trays here, through the shrink wrap and onto pallets to go.
Fantastic. And here's some of the beers you have in
some of the
stock.
beers that we have in stock at the moment, which are all beers that we're moving on. But a lot of these beers now are going to Sweden, going to France, and after Christmas we start a new contract with Italy. So this has added a dimension to our business that is second to none, and it means that we're Salsa accredited, which is one of the top accreditations, and then added to that we also have the Soil Association, which is the organic accreditation, and we're accredited with both of them for brewing and bottling.
One more question. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years?
Retirement, hopefully. And that says James very loudly. No, our plan as a group is to integrate with other businesses. We're looking at several others at the moment, to become a consolidated brewing, distribution and brand ownership business. And our aim is very clear. We need to be able to interact with our consumer at one end, i.e. the person who wants to buy bottled beer who can't get them through the supermarkets or wherever. And the second part of it, which is very important, is to maintain our growth of our pub estate. Our pub estate is what actually at this moment in time gives us the strength and the ability to promote and market our brands. And if you go to the Cricketers, and I'm very proud of the achievements of Jamie Taylor and the team at the Cricketers, they are voted top gastro pub in southeast Wales. They are one of the biggest pubs that has a fantastic garden, fantastic staff, and constantly get rave reviews. So out of 1,000 odd restaurants and pubs in Wales, it's voted number 60, I think.
You've got a very dynamic business, bottling, brewing, 2 pubs you've got at the moment. Is it a thought of course, 2018 we're talking here, Brexit's a bit up and down, but will you be looking to maybe add to your pub chain in the future?
Totally. We're in negotiations at the moment to buy another group. We're looking to add quality to our pub estate. We want diversity as well, so we're not stuck in one geographic area. But there's no doubt about it, being in Cardiff and South East Wales is an important place to be. We've noticed the Cricketers is now, whereas it was an island virtually pub in the sense that what was around it was not particularly good. Now we have the situation where we've got some good operators coming into the area, but what they're doing is they're bringing the crowd from the bay to us.
Yeah.
And whereas we were always slightly concerned about competition, we now see competition as a benefit in many respects, but most importantly of all, it gives us the opportunity to showcase what we're good at. And what we're good at is brewing great beers. We've gone through a tasting with Tom from Poland to make sure that he understands what it is we're doing. But what we're not trying to do is we're not trying to say we've got all the answers. We've got a range of beers that people like. And always remember this, craft beer, I know I've had this argument with you so many times before, craft beer is only 8% of the total beer market in the UK. It's an important marketplace because what it's doing is generating interest.
Yeah.
But it can't break through this 8%. And the reason for that is 90% or plus of the marketplace wants to drink something that doesn't challenge them, doesn't over-threaten them, but gives them some excitement. And that's the marketplace we're in.
Brilliant. Let's go and have a beer in your pub.
Yes.
Let's go. Cheers. Thank you very much, Simon.